Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, Mookie.
Yo.
How you feeling, shorty?
Feeling all right.
Be honest, yo.
Feeling all right.
Your eyes.
Wow.
Your eyes, yo. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm feeling good. Your man tired is I don't know what here, man. First of all, let's just appreciate Mookie for coming out, man. In Baltimore, man, it's 10 o'clock at night. My guy got work in the morning. He wake up at 4. You feel me? He's a beast, man. He's a machine. We just want to take the time to appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
So look, man, if y'all new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Mookie.
Yeah.
All right, bro. You already know how we been with the racing game.
Mm-hmm.
Family, we've been getting in all types of racing. You feel me? Motorcycles, Formula One. You feel me? Different types of cars. Now, look, this is Group B when rallies go too fast.
Rally ain't got too fast.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. It's like a little bit blurry right there.
Okay.
But rallying, bro. You already know how to rally.
Cars.
Yeah, you know, the drifting for real. The dirt piles, the donuts. You feel me? The flying cars. With cars, man.
Right.
One question, bro. For y'all, where do rallying take place at?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it like a dirt hill or a dirt track or I don't know.
Yeah, I want to know where it take place at, bro. You feel me? Because this been an interesting subject for us. Y'all been loving it, so we're going to keep these videos coming.
Absolutely.
So like I told y'all, man, if y'all new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. Follow us on all social media platforms. Definitely on Instagram to request y'all video.
Yes, sir.
Mookie.
Yo.
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
The Audi Quattro, Lancia 037 and the Peugeot 205 T16, some of the most iconic names in rallying. Cars that pushed the limits of what was possible in a way that we haven't seen since. It was called Group B and is still held as the golden era of rallying. Group B was a class where manufacturers were allowed to go all out with almost unlimited power, crazy aerodynamics and new exotic materials. It brought about new technologies like four-wheel drive, semi-automatic gearboxes and clever turbo.
I'm looking at this. Ain't no guardrails.
Nothing.
It's nothing. Like y'all could really hit a person,
bro. And it's crazy because when he was drifting that thing, everybody getting out of the way. Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
But do you see how it's shaped? It's shaped kind of different.
Yeah. Like
it's not shaped like a regular little rally car or nothing. Like rally cars, I guess it's Group B because it's different. Rally cars, they look like NAS cars, just a little bit
smaller.
Yeah, you feel me? But this one seemed like it's like a builder block car, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Turbocharging systems. However, it was only for the bravest of drivers. The hugely powerful cars needed a lot of manhandling to thread them through the tight, twisty stages, away from huge drops and dodging a sea of spectators. But how did this come about, and what can we learn from the crazy cars that won in the Group B era? Rallying went wild in the 80s. The FIA wanted to attract more manufacturers and so created a class that would give the designers pretty much free rein. No power limits, no regulations on boost, and whatever exotic materials you liked. Rally cars over the years have been largely based on road cars, with rules tightening and loosening on how close the relationship has to be between the stock car and the ones that actually race the stage. For example, in the Group A class, the manufacturers have to produce 5,000 road-going versions of the car before it is allowed to compete. In Group B, to lower the costs and interest manufacturers, they ruled that only 200 cars needed to be produced. Group B also allowed almost endless modifications to be made, meaning the rally cars were nothing like the road cars at all. This approach really worked, attracting many manufacturers to Group B, names like Lancia, Porsche, Peugeot, Audi, Toyota, Ford, as well as so many more. Lancia took the Drivers' Championship in the first year of Group B with the 037. It was the last rear-wheel drive car to win in the WRC. It was incredibly light, using fiberglass and Kevlar for the body, and was powered by a mid-mounted 250 horsepower engine. It has much larger wings than many cars of the time, with a huge rear spoiler to stabilise the car at high speeds. It was supercharged to avoid turbo lag, and it was incredibly quick on the tarmac stages. However, it wasn't quite as quick on loose surfaces. So in stepped Audi with the Quattro, one of the most innovative rally cars of all time, a true game changer. It had an inline 5 engine with a very clever turbocharging system that produced over 450 brake horsepower. It had a small valve that kept the turbo spooled even when off throttle, meaning there was very little turbo lag, making the car quick out of the tight turns. The Audi also had a very aggressive aero kit with a huge spoiler at the front of the car and an even bigger wing on the back.
Wow.
This was one of the first sophisticated uses of aerodynamics in rallying. Drivers said it made the car extremely stable at high speed. The insane power was put through a clever semi-automatic gearbox and drove all 4 wheels. It was the first car to use a 4-wheel drive system effectively. Before this, many manufacturers stuck to rear-wheel drive as they thought the additional weight would outweigh any time gains from the extra traction. And yes, the Audi was very heavy, and the 4-wheel drive system meant the weight was higher up than you would like in a rally car normally. But despite the compromised dynamics, it worked. The Audi had more power than the rest of the field, but could also use it more effectively, deploying more power even on surfaces like gravel, dirt and ice. Audi won its first race with the car and didn't really stop after that. They shaved seconds, if not...
So it's a race.
It's a race, yeah.
I thought it was like for like tricks or stunts.
No, it's a race.
Damn.
I think it's a race.
So, by the track or the, well, I want to say track, the dirt pile of a track being that little, what happens when 2 cars, you feel me? Because it's little.
No, see.
That's why I thought it was a stunt or it's for tricks because the dirt pile is little.
Yeah.
So how they be racing if the dirt pile little? Something gonna happen.
Do they go like one after each other?
Let us know in the comment section. Like explain it, and also it looked like it was in like the 70s or 80s, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like this was like old school, and it was rare and it was exciting.
Minutes off stage times, the Audi 4-wheel drive system really changed the game in rallying.
There's 2 people in there too, yo.
But the Audi dominance didn't last long. Peugeot came out with a car which exposed the weaknesses of the Quattro. They used a similar 4-wheel drive system but packaged it very differently. Their secret was that they really nailed the car's dynamics. They built the car to look like the road-going 205, a small hatchback. It had a very short wheelbase, which generally makes cars more nimble at low speeds with the trade-off of less stability at high speeds. However, rally stages are often so tight and twisty that this strategy paid off for Peugeot. They also did everything they could to keep the weight central. They fitted a 1.8 litre engine in the middle of the car, although it didn't have the clever anti-lag system that the Audi did. So the drivers used an old trick to keep the turbo spooled up. They left foot braked for the corners while staying on the throttle. This kept the turbo spooled up and gave them immediate power on the exit. But what was really unusual about the 205 was the orientation they mounted the engine in. Normally, race cars have longitudinal mounted engines with the crank parallel with the direction of the car. However, Peugeot fitted it in a transverse orientation, and instead of mounting the gearbox below the engine like in the Audi, Peugeot mounted it to the side. This meant that the majority of the weight in the car was between the 2 axles and could be mounted lower, making the car much more nimble and responsive in the corners. Low centre of gravity means the car doesn't roll too much, and if it's in the centre of the chassis, the car is easier to rotate in the corners. The 205's weight distribution wasn't 50-50 though, it placed around 60% of the weight on the rear wheels. In simple terms, rearward weight distribution promotes oversteer and frontward weight distribution creates more understeer. This rearward bias meant the car was easier to turn in and control through the turns. You can really see this if you watch the Audi through the corners. The Audi was very front heavy and produced a lot of understeer. The drivers are trying to neutralize this with the throttle, but they...
So it's 2 people controlling it?
Yeah, I think it's one driving and one navigating.
For real?
That's what I think, yeah.
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And, yo, shout out to the guys that came up with this idea.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because it looked like they just was trying something out. They put together something. This became real popular. They used the same format of the cars.
Right.
Feel me? Boop, 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 boop. And they just started getting to it.
They have to correct the car several times through the corner. The Quattro understeers, then oversteers, then understeers again through a turn. The drivers really have to wrestle it through the corner. The Quattro was by no means an easy car to drive. Now look at the Peugeot. There is one smooth input on the steering and the car looks much more balanced and easy to drive. There is no wonder it was quicker. It's incredible to watch as these drivers control the car when at crazy speeds on tight and twisty rally stage.
So loud in the videos. Just crop that out.
Also not forgetting they are threading the car through a sea of spectators on the stage. But why are the fans allowed to be so close to the cars?
Right.
The stages are public roads, meaning anyone could go and spectate. However, it meant that many got extremely close to the cars. Back then, people did get hit, but it was considered to be part of the challenge for the drivers.
What?
They often kept it pinned and had to hope that the fans would get out the way in time. This guy even had to jump over a passing car. Many manufacturers understood that Peugeot's approach was the way to go, all producing smaller, short wheelbase cars with all the weight in the middle. MG created the Metro with a distinctive boxy shape and a huge front wing, and the Renault 5 took a similar approach too. However, it was Lancia that did it the best. They finally scrapped rear-wheel drive after being uncompetitive all year, so they created the Lancia Delta S4, a short wheelbase four-wheel drive monster. Firstly, they developed an engine with a genius twin charging system. They fitted a supercharger to avoid the lag of a turbo, a bit like the Lancia 037. However, this created less power at high revs. As a supercharger is directly driven by the engine, it can provide boost at low revs, but saps more and more power as the revs climb. So what Lancia did was fit an additional turbocharger that would provide boost at high revs. So low-end boost was provided by the supercharger before cutting out and letting the turbo take over at higher revs. This meant the Delta S4 was amazingly powerful and had the grip to put it down onto the stage. It took many wins before eventually bringing the Group B era to a close. This era of rallying was amazing to watch. Incredibly fast cars and amazing drivers all pushing to the limits of what's possible. There were different winners every year and cars that looked remarkably different with incredible engineering.
Wow.
However, you can't ignore the fact that it was extremely dangerous. The cars were too powerful, difficult to drive, and not enough emphasis was put on the safety of drivers and spectators. The biggest issue was the minimum weight rule. Cars could weigh as little as 890 kilograms. So to be competitive, manufacturers would do anything they could to get this limit down. This created a breed of cars that were very fragile and not up to the job of protecting drivers in a crash. Many of the drivers explained that if this weight limit was higher, more strengthening could have been added to better protect the drivers in a crash. Several huge crashes happened. In Portugal, Santos crested a rise in his Ford RS200. He lost control and went off the course, horrifically injuring 31 spectators and killing 3. All the teams immediately pulled out of the rally and it left Group B hanging on by a thread. A few months later, the final blow came. Lancia's Henri Toivonen was the championship favourite when he lost control late in a fast turn. He was winning by a huge margin when he and his co-driver Sergio Cresto came flying off the road, heading down a steep hill. The impact ruptured the fuel tank, spilling fuel over the red-hot turbocharger, sending the car up in flames. After the incident, it was barely recognisable as a car, and both Henry and Sergio were killed in the crash.
Goodness.
This led to many manufacturers pulling out, and the FIA ended the Group B class the following year. You should watch this video where I explain what it takes to modify a rally car to set the outright record at Pikes Peak, or this other video that I think you'll love. Thanks very much for watching.
It's crazy.
So
rally cars is different from, you know, the other racing videos.
bro, rally cars seem like hood racing.
Yeah.
Like, and what I mean by that is, bro, it's like you and your friends, y'all get together and y'all make your own league. You feel me? This not a professional. This is professional, but it's professional in our neighborhood, bro.
Right.
You feel me? Like rally, that's different, bro.
A little bit of street racing.
Yeah, and it's like for like, if we used to say basketball players, for instance, bro, it's like people that was in your neighborhood that could have went to the NBA that never went. Because these dudes is amazing drivers, bro.
Yeah.
But due to the situation and how the rules is and how they racing, something dangerous bound to happen.
Something dangerous about it. You see how close the spectators was to the cars?
And how fast they going?
And how fast they going.
And then the car don't even got protection like that?
Nothing.
Man, this was amazing, bro.
Yes, sir.
Everything that's amazing, it always got its downfalls. So overall, the video movie, what you think?
Man, I think it's a sport we definitely have to get a little more into. But what I've seen so far, it seems like it's a pure adrenaline rush.
It does.
Pure adrenaline rush.
It does.
To do something like that. So, you know, just got to get into it a little bit more.
Okay. Look, man, this was Group B. Group B Rally Racing. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Look, man, if y'all want to request more videos, please follow us on Instagram, bro. Instagram DUNSON Brothers. You feel me? Send us y'all requests. I'm Nick DUNSON.
And I'm Mookie DUNSON.
And we out, baby. One.